Hi, and welcome again to a fantastic Microsoft Monday. As always, today I am with Kyle Nehs. Kyle, say hi to everybody.
Everyone, good to see you. I think it's been a minute, Mark. So happy to be back and talk some Teams Rooms updates.
Excellent. So to that end, why don't you take it away? Go ahead and tell us what you got.
Sure. So let me get my screen pulled up here. There's a lot to cover today, and like always, we're going to kind of take a look back. I think August was a jam-packed month when it comes to updates to the Teams Rooms, Teams platform. This month, there's actually 52 new features and devices that come along with that for the month of August. So really not slowing down when it comes to August, certainly, but came off Microsoft Inspire. I think that's what we talked about last and some of the things that came out of that. And this month, there's actually a really good amount of updates that came to Teams Rooms on Windows. We're finally getting to a point where intelligent cameras and features that are just baked into the platform are going to help us be more collaborative, give everyone more real estate, and ultimately just kind of immerse ourselves into these meetings that have just really become the norm at this point. So without further ado, I'm going to scroll down and jump to the Teams Rooms on Windows updates, because I think that's something that I definitely want to cover today. And while I'm scrolling and finding this, which here it is, I also want to point out, it's not necessarily called out on this, but definitely something to note is Microsoft Teams Rooms 4.18. That's the update that brings all of these features that I'm going to talk about. It may not be the biggest update in terms of number of features, but I think the quality of features, let's say, is probably one of the best that I've seen in a single update. So, we've talked Windows 11 and that transition, and that came with 4.17. Now we're on 4.18, and we're really getting into some of the capabilities that AI is going to unlock for us on the Teams Rooms platform, which is both a combination of the software as well as the hardware that goes into the room. So the first feature that I want to talk about in regards to that is video gallery segmentation and a unified background in the front row layout for Teams Rooms on Windows. So you may remember when front row layout was first introduced, the individuals that are there at the bottom of the screen, their backgrounds were removed. It was just simply their shoulders and their head, as if they were in the room with us, and everyone had that universal same background, regardless of if they were in the room or on the far end. So as you can see in the picture here, the individuals on the far end actually have their backgrounds removed, and only their shoulders and their head appear in this front row layout. This is meant to deliver a lot of things, but for me, I think the most important thing is it kind of just eliminates distractions. And sometimes, yeah, we do use that blurred background to help kind of eliminate that, but this makes the front row layout a lot cleaner. And the whole point of this layout, at least in my opinion, is for content to be front and center and the primary focus of your meetings. And I think this helps us accomplish that to an even greater extent. Because regardless of where you're joining the meeting and what camera you're using and where you may be, your background's going to be the same. And just like the content, when you're the one speaking in the meeting, you're the one in focus, and there's nothing else to distract. So I think this is a really great update to the front row layout for Teams Rooms on Windows. And on top of that, we're also getting spatial audio on Teams Rooms on Windows speakers. So not every audio system is going to be capable of this just yet, but certainly, the first box to check is that it is certified for Teams Rooms. And this intelligent audio is going to make the experience a lot more natural because remote attendees' voices are actually going to come from the direction their frame is oriented on the in-room display. So if I'm bottom left of that screen, the participants, when I'm talking, the audio is actually going to come from that area. So it's a bit more natural, as if, like, say, Mark, you and I were in the room and you were across the table from me. I would obviously expect your voice to come from the other side of the table. And just like, we're in the room together, these remote participants are going to have their audio come from wherever they end up on the screen. So another great feature. And then on top of this, we've had noise suppression or noise cancellation for a while now on Teams, but you're going to have this as well added on there, a bit improved as well. Speaking of some intelligent features that are coming there to Teams Rooms, multi-stream IntelliFrame and Cloud IntelliFrame are now here officially. So as far as multi-stream IntelliFrame, there's actually going to be two devices that currently support this, Jabra Panic S50 and the Yeeling Smart Vision 60. So these devices can actually send multi-video streams. So when they're breaking up the individuals in the room into their own individual squares and their own individual real estate, this is actually going to be done by sending multiple videos utilizing the multiple cameras that are built into the device. So ultimately, this is going to give you kind of the most intelligent feature set when it comes to splitting people up and capturing whiteboard content and even supporting panoramic views. Now, for cameras that don't necessarily have the hardware to support this, Microsoft is also introducing Cloud and Teleframe. And Cloud and Teleframe is going to take any webcam. It could be the webcam that you're using now or the one I'm using now. It could also be something such as Lenovo 6-Smart Cam, and that's going to leverage Microsoft's Cloud to split people up into 4 individual boxes, but it's going to be a single stream of videos, so that once big box that showed the entire room is going to be split up into 4 quadrants and have people's individual shoulders and heads put into those frames, again, just to help distinguish who's talking, give everyone their own real estate, and ultimately allow for a different way for in-room participants to participate and be shown to the far ends. So a lot of great features coming for that. There's actually a whole section on Cloud and Teleframe right here as well. So again, that's for any camera, but definitely take a look for that. Now 4.18 is a requirement in order for you to unlock these features. And when it comes to the intelligent cameras, there's actually a few more steps that need to be taken on the back end for IT to enable, as well as users to opt into. So this includes creating a voice profile as well as creating a face profile. Again, this is something that is going to be an opt-in feature. So if this is something you do not want to participate in, you don't have to. But in order for the intelligent cameras to identify the individuals in the room, such as putting their name on their square once they are separated into their own real estate, these 2 requirements are going to need to be met in order for these features to work properly. So it is something to note when you are looking to do this. And of course, these features are only going to be available on the Microsoft Teams Pro license. So if you're using MTR Basic right now, unfortunately, these aren't available for that license type, but if you are on the Pro license, you will be able to leverage that. Now, the last feature I do want to talk about, and it is, I think, a really great one, something that makes reserving rooms very convenient, is now when you have a scheduling panel on the outside of your Microsoft Teams rooms, there's actually going to be a QR code displayed on the top left of that screen. And what that allows you to do is actually take your phone, which is presumably already logged in to your profile on the Teams app, and scan that QR code. And you can actually reserve the room for future meetings. Say you need to quickly do an ad hoc meeting and reserve the room that way. This is a great, quick and easy way to go ahead and do that. Now you can schedule a new meeting or reserve for an existing meeting. So again, just making it a lot easier to use these rooms. I think this kind of, builds even more justification for having those scheduling panels on the outsides of the rooms. So that it's very easily visible when the room is booked, when it's available, and who's using the room. So with all that said, Mark, these are all the great features. Well, not all the great features, but I think the ones that we should definitely call out this month from August that are coming to the team rooms platform.
Excellent. Thank you for those updates, Kyle. A couple quick follow-up questions that I have to ask on those features.
Sure.
First and foremost, for the scheduling panels, does Lenovo directly have a scheduling panel?
So Lenovo doesn't, but we work with a lot of great partners that do offer this, and it's really plug and play with any of our team room systems. And I think that's, generally speaking, the beauty of our platform and our hardware. That includes those intelligent cameras that I talked about as well. Those obviously aren't Lenovo manufactured. However, those are cameras that we do work with and can plug and play with, so that if you do want to enable that intelligent camera experience in your rooms, you can power it with a core and IP controller, and you're going to be up and running in no time.
Absolutely, and you actually already answered my other question I was going to ask about whether or not Lenovo had a camera, and what I can tell you is from the software development side, I believe our team is working on that with our camera, but for right now, it's definitely not live. Anything else, Kyle, before we get going?
No, that's all I had today, Mark. Definitely encourage everyone to check out the blog post that was posted on the Teams blog. It is titled What's New in Microsoft Teams for August 2023. So obviously couldn't cover it all today. There's a lot more. I obviously only covered a handful of features, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's 52 new ones. So definitely encourage everyone to take a look, but that's all I had for today.
Once again, Kyle, I really appreciate you joining us here today. It's been a blast having you here. Thank you so much. Don't forget to check out our whole YouTube video stack. We've got lots of great videos. We've been at this for about 6 months now, and we've got 30 some odd videos ready to go for you about all kinds of fun topics, a lot of them including my good buddy Kyle Nehs right here. Thank you very much, Kyle. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, Mark. I appreciate the opportunity to come talk teams with you.
Excellent. So until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'd appreciate that very much. And leave us some comments. Comments are always fun. I love reading the comments. So until next time, we'll see you then.
See you next Monday, Mark.